So I've been looking for a decent Windows XP computer as a sort of hobby computer for a while now, and I actually just found one. It's the HP Pavilion T740A, and this is just a generic T740 in this picture, but I'll show you the tech specs real quick. Okay, so this is a technical specification sheet for the model I'm getting, which is a PL397AA. So Pentium 4 515 processor, 2.93 gigahertz, which is quite powerful. So that's going to be really interesting to see how that performs. Pretty recent chipset from Intel for the Mobo. 512 meg RAM, so that's all standard. It comes with all of the standard components. So 120 gig drive, 512 meg of RAM. So luckily I can still get the RAM that this uses pretty easily. It's just DDR 400, which is not as common as it used to be, but it is sort of common, so I can get that. Additionally, it does not come with any sort of dedicated graphics. It comes with an awful Intel GMA 915, I think, which I had a look at its performance and it looks pretty atrocious. So I took a punt on. I can get it has free PCIe slots. Well, one actually. So 2 PCI and 1 PCIe free. So I was thinking about a graphics card to put in it, obviously, because I just found this computer and I managed to get it, and I'm going to pick it up tonight. So I was having a look at what I could put in as a graphics card in the meantime, just to get it running some games, and I'll show you what I found. This is the GeForce GT 710 2 gig model. This is actually compatible with Windows XP, at least the drivers are. Now, I'm not 100%, and obviously, you know, PCIe is backwards compatible, so I will be able to use this in the machine. However, that said, that's assuming that the power that the motherboard gives out, so on and so forth, the power supply is all adequate. So I don't really know what it's going to do. This is the keyboard I'm going to be using with it. This is what I use in any of my PS2 enabled computers. It's a Microsoft Internet keyboard. I'm not 100% sure about the manufacture date. Okay, so I just had a look. Apparently the manufacture date, by the looks of it, was February of 2001. And this is a really nice keyboard. Like, you get these big chunky feedback from the keys. Oh, and they just feel so good to type on. Oh, I love it. Anyway, that's the keyboard I'll be using. And there it is. So I'm actually at PC Case Gear, which is probably my favorite PC parts store in Melbourne. So let's open this up and have a look inside it. So as expected, you get the card in a little ESD bag. And I'm just wondering about the size of this heatsink on here. I mean, that's beefy. DVI, HDMI, I'm going to be using DVI. It's DVI-I, so you can actually use a plug converter to convert that to VGA and run that on a VGA monitor, because that's analog, if I remember correctly. And DVI-D is the one that you need a straight up DVI interface for, or you need like an expensive converter thing, and it's just not worth it. You might as well just get another card. So yeah, there it is, and that's good. So still concerned about the size, but I'll just have to see what happens when I get it installed. So after Twitter Officeworks, which is just a big office supply store that also sells computer gear, I managed to find a DVI cable. These are really hard to find now, which is, I haven't had to look for one in a long time, and that was very hard to find. So, and it was also very expensive, $29 for a 2-meter cable, but whatever. I wanted it on the spot. I guess you pay for the convenience. Okay, so I picked up the computer and it is in incredible condition. So, I mean, the pictures did not lie whatsoever. It's just it's almost flawless. This thing looks new, almost. I mean, there's this here, but again, Google will get rid of that. And amazingly, the GPU fits. Look at this. So there's the 710, and it fits in the PCIe slot. Without, I really thought it was going to hit some capacitors, or it is blocking one of the PCI slots, but I don't really think I'll need that. And this one here, I mean, that's just a modem. So I'm probably going to end up removing that and putting in a sound card or something. This has just got built-in audio, but I mean, you can see that this just looks incredible. So I'm going to see if those drivers will install, and yeah, so far so good. Okay, so here it is, the USB plugged in, has the drivers for the graphics card on it, so here's first boot, and hopefully it works. It's turning on, that's a good sign. Just hoping the monitor kicks in. Nope, it's not. I'm gonna have to fix that. Okay, this is with VGA, hopefully plugged in. I'm hoping it detects it. I'm wondering if the graphics card might be interfering with the integrated graphics processor. Yep. Okay, so that didn't work at all. When I ran the driver setup program, it essentially just... it didn't blue screen or anything. It turned off my computer, but it was still running. I have no idea what just happened. So, yeah, there we go. I'm going to try this a different way. Okay, so after much... okay, so I've made some major progress. This is running on DVI now. The card is installed. It's detecting it. I fiddled with a bunch of stuff in the BIOS. I disabled the onboard video, so on and so forth, and I've got this. But there is a problem, and there was nothing... I should have thought about this, to be honest, but nothing actually said it, but you need Windows XP Service Pack 3 to install these drivers. So I'm doing that now, and hopefully that's the last thing I have to do. Okay, it's now the next day. It works. I got it to work, to a degree. Nothing was working. It wouldn't accept anything, so I went into the BIOS, played with a bunch of settings. I eventually managed to route the video to the graphics card, and it picked it up as a VGA card, so it did detect it. I then went in, tried to install the drivers, but I got so many errors. It turned out there was a component of the operating system missing, and also Service Pack 3 naturally wasn't installed and it needed that. So I went and did all of that. The drivers then installed, and I ran Far Cry once, and it ran really, really well. I managed to run it on very high, and it was fine. And then I went and had some dinner, came back, tried to run it again so I could play with some settings, and it blue screened. Okay, so here we go. I'll just briefly show you what I'm talking about. So, as you can see, it detects it, everything's on high. I actually did reduce some of the graphics to make it run a little bit better because it was a bit slow, so we're going to go back to the main menu. I'm going to try to load the checkpoint. Alright, here we are. Okay, now it's working again. Well,
Oh, really? Do I need to remind you of the groundbreaking work that we're doing here?
No, but I've been authorized by the board to look at everything.
The board authorized you? The board doesn't know the first thing about science. All they want is something to make them more money.
And there we go, there's an upgraded Windows XP PC using a GeForce 710. After some initial hiccups, we've got it working fantastically, so you can look forward to more videos where I'll be doing further upgrades and reviews of some great Windows XP games.